Hey guys, so I was originally going to make a video about the accuracy penalties of strafing and why you shouldn't strafe. Well, that's all changed. I noticed in most of the Twitch streams or YouTube videos I was watching that the players strafe a lot, and I'm talking about pros like KDRs of 3, 4 and just amazing stats overall. In fact, the only really good player I know who doesn't strafe is X Factor. For everyone else, strafing is just second nature. I basically always stood still when I shot. It felt unnatural when I strafed. I chatted in some of the Twitch streams and they all agreed that strafing was helpful because it made you a much harder target. Now this came as a surprise to me because the stats disagree. According to the stats, strafing with an assault rifle will drop your accuracy from 0.2 to 1. Strafing with the carbine will drop your accuracy from 0.3 to 0.8. And strafing with an LMG will drop your accuracy from 0.3 to 2. To put that into perspective, an accuracy of 2 is the same accuracy as hip firing a carbine, and an accuracy of 1 is the same accuracy as hip firing a PDW. But the effectiveness of strafing at range completely disagreed with the statistics, so I decided to go and do some strafing myself. After some hours of playing with strafing, I can now agree that strafing really isn't that bad for your aim. Well, at least nowhere near as bad as the stats make it to be. As a person who lost stats, this came as a surprise, but hey, if the pros encourage strafing, it's probably good. Now, of course, I would still recommend standing still when shooting for longer ranges if you're not getting shot at, because you need as much accuracy as you can get. You're probably not going to get shot. Now, if people are shooting at you, then it's a whole different story. Strafe all you want, anything that'll throw your enemy's aim off. Now, there are basically two advantages of strafing that are closely related. The first is target prioritization, choosing which enemy to shoot at. When I come up against a group of enemies, there are two main factors that influence my decision on who to fire at: their threat to me and their vulnerability. The part where strafing comes in is that it makes you less vulnerable. As a general rule of thumb, a person will go for someone who's standing still over someone who's moving. So keeping moving increases your survivability, especially when you're in a group. As well as this, it's obvious that shooting at a moving target is more difficult than shooting at a standing target. Naturally, pros will still be able to effectively take you down, but it will be more difficult, especially with a sniper rifle. You can break this down to two parts. The first is your enemy's ability to track a target. When I review my own gameplay, I notice that when I'm tracking an enemy, I often move my mouse periodically. I'm not necessarily following the enemy exactly. As well as this, there's also the issue of muzzle velocity. This probably won't be much of an issue in close quarters combat, but at longer ranges, a bullet's travel time can mean that strafing can cause the bullets to miss you. This is because even if you're in someone's sights when they fire a weapon, if you're moving in the time the bullet is traveling towards you, you may have moved out of the bullet's path, meaning the bullet doesn't hit. Now, these two factors also increase your survivability and are a great advantage. Originally, the reason I didn't want to strafe was because I thought that there was some pretty extreme accuracy drawbacks. But after some watching and playing, I can conclude that you can still keep your aim tip top. With this con out of the way, the positives of strafing now heavily outweigh any negatives. So I would highly recommend strafing in firefights, as it will greatly increase your survivability. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned some things, and peace out.